यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरि श्री गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम, हरि श्री गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम। विश्वाधारा विघ्न विनाशक वीर गणपति ओम, विश्वाधारा विघ्न विनाशक वीर गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम, वीर गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम, वीर गणपति ओम। हरि श्री गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम, विश्वाधारा विघ्न विनाशक वीर गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम, वीर गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम, वीर गणपति ओम। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश, जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश, जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश, जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश, 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 जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश, जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश, जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश, जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश। हरि श्री गणपति ओम, हरे गणपति ओम। सुन लो
Om Sri Sai Ram. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the Satya Sai Global Council Centers of Dallas to welcome all of you to the event that is happening right now. We started off with very inspiring bhajans by the children. These are our Sri Satya Sai Educate Program children, and they worked very hard to make this almost the perfect rendering. And behind this great bhajan singing is the training of Deepa Shankar, who really drives our SSC kids to excellence in singing bhajans. Thank you. We want to move to the next event for today, and that is reflection of Sai's words of wisdom with none other than Professor Anil Kumar. Professor Anil Kumar needs no introduction with the Sai community all over the world. But I just thought I would take this moment to share a few things about him. He is a very ardent devotee of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. And for those of us who have observed him interact with Swami and Prashanthi Nilayam, we can see an incredible chemistry between the two of them. I have never met a person who could engage Bhagavan in a conversation like the way he did in Prashanthi Nilayam, which is why I always, when I went to Puttaparthi, chose to sit right behind him, because I know that he would get Swami into a conversation, and willingly Swami would talk and answer his questions. The results of all of these interactions has resulted in over 40 books that Professor Anil Kumar has written about Swami. In addition to being a very prolific reader of Bhagavan, an ardent devotee of Swami, and a speaker who talks about Swami's teachings, he is also an outstanding author. Some of the books he has written, I would highly recommend. The one called Sakya Upanishad. That's a two-part book where he was asking the question and Swami was answering to him. If you get a chance, please read that. The other book he wrote that I like very much was Sai Gayatri. It's another good book. And then the other one was The Divine Directions. Those were my favorite books. But he has written 40 books and has had enormous interactions with Swami. Professor Anil Kumar is a teacher by profession. He started teaching at the Andhra Christian College in Guntur, and from there in 1988 he came to Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, and he served as a principal of the Vrindavan campus until 1996, and then he moved to Prashanthi Nilayam. Swami handpicked him to be the translator from Telugu to English of all the divine discourses. And for those of us who have watched him do the translation, when Swami gets on the discourse flow, he goes, and it can go up and down and fast. And I always was amazed to see how quickly he heard, comprehended, translate it, and deliver it. And oftentimes, when he was delivering the translation, Swami would have gone to the next sentence and he would come right back. And this used to amaze a lot of us who were sitting and watching this. And one time I asked him, how is he able to do it? He said, he does it for me. Right? So that's the chemistry between him and Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. He's also a very avid speaker. And Sunday mornings in Puttaparthi, he always gave a lecture which was widely attended by people from all over the world who are visiting Puttaparthi. And he shares the teachings of Swami and explains it in a way that everybody understands. A lot of what he does is a gift from Bhagwan. And he has dedicated his life, he has dedicated it to the service of the Lord. And we're very happy that he's here with us, and he is going to share the words of wisdom of Sai, the famous sayings of Sai, my life is my message. It is pregnant with meaning, and I hope we will all be able to understand that wisdom through your explanation to us. Thank you very much for joining us, and we appreciate your allocating the time to be with us today. Thank you. Bye.
Sai Ram, everybody. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba Ji ki. Jai. That should be the spirit. Jai Sai Shankar, Jaya Abhayankar, Jai Sai Shankar. Jai Shiva Shankar, Jaya Pralayankar. Jai Sai Shankar, Jaya Abhayankar. Hare! Shiva Shankar, Jaya Abhayankar. Naam Sada Shiva Shiva Haraye, Shiva Haraye, Shiva Haraye. Naam Sada Shiva Shiva Haraye, Shiva Haraye, Shiva Haraye. Jai Sai Shankar, Jaya Abhayankar. Hare! Jai Shiva Shankar, Jaya Pralayankar. Jaya Gangadhara, Jaya Dimbadhara. Jaya Gangadhara, Jaya Dimbadhara. Yadra Shiva Hare, Shiva Hare, Shiva Hare Sainath Baba Maharaj Ku. My humble pronouns at the lotus feet of our most beloved Bhagavan. Dear brothers and sisters, the children who all have gathered here this evening. I am really thankful and grateful to Professor Padmanabhan and his team for inviting me to this program. In fact, it has been my life mission to spread his mission, to spread his message. It has been going on for the last 5 decades only. How many more are, I do not know. I thank those who have come from distant places also and made it convenient to attend the meeting. Well, the topic is, my life is?
My message.
My life is?
My message.
That's good. We know that message is there today with many other people. There's no one who cannot give a message, but their life is not in agreement with, in accordance to the message they deliver. Message is one thing, life is different. That's what we find all over today, particularly among politicians. It is only in the case of, in the history of free India, it was Mahatma Gandhi who could say, my life is my message. We think of him today as we celebrate the 75th Independence Day tomorrow. Among all avatars, if we just have a look, it is Lord Sri Ramachandra who could say, my life is my message. Therefore, we should be very careful in observing the life of an avatar. His movement, his gestures, how he mingles with people, dress, the style, we should observe every little minute detail in the life of avatar. Then you will be able to get the message. It is not through books. Books will give you bookish knowledge. Bookish knowledge is different. And what we hear from others is superficial knowledge. And whatever we know little is just a common sense. But which you gain right in the presence on closer observation is practical knowledge. That's why it is said, living with God is education. Living with God is education. What do you mean? You observe Him so keenly. Try to educate yourself. Try to improve yourself. That's what education meant. Not merely earning the degrees. So, what do we learn from Swami? How does he say that my life is my message? How? Just observe him. As a child of your age, those seated in the front row, of your age, you know how Baba worked for his grandfather? How he worked? He cooked for his grandfather. He had to walk all the distance to Bukkapatnam, 6 miles from Puttaparthi, fetch water, cook for him, go to school. Not ordinary thing. Not ordinary thing. 6 miles. Not only that, he has to fetch water from the river, Chitravati, on his shoulders. Baba said, Yarraga ipoyedaya. It is all very red in color because of its weight. That's how he worked. That's how he loved his grandfather. And then Swami also says this, you know, I'm an expert cook, I'm an expert cook. Particularly in rasam, nobody can do like me. Swami himself, these are the words directly from Swami. Rasam chala baga chestanu. I do it very well. Alaga Swami? Yes. The moment rasam is ready, Many of the villagers will make a queue, beeline there for rasam dose I made it. Raju, I'm not doing well. I want little rasam from you. Headache, little rasam. Rasam is like of medicinal value. I'm an excellent cook. What do you know? That's what Swami says. He is. So, to begin with, life is my message. How to serve the parents. How to serve the grandparents. How? As Swami himself said, it seems his grandfather, Venkamaraju, used to touch his feet every morning before Baba gets up. Swami feeling the touch, he would immediately tell him, Tata, నువ్వు అట్లా చేయకూడదు. ఏమి నువ్వు నాకు నమస్కారం చేస్తూ ఉండవు, ఇలా నువ్వు చేయకూడదు. Oh grandfather, why do you touch my feet like that? You are such an elderly man. Don't do that. Then grandfather says, what do you know about yourself? What do you know about yourself? I know who you are, keep quiet. Though I said no, he used to do namaskar every day. In other words, grandfather recognized divinity of Bhagwan Baba, and Bhagwan Baba, divine himself, served his grandfather. Unparalleled. It only means divine serve, so that we may learn how to serve, so that we may copy him, so that we may emulate his example. There he started his life. And then what happened? He goes to school, Kamalapuram, where his brother was working. He joined his brother. Swami tells you what hardship he underwent. Sister-in-law has put him literally to torture. Literally. Swami says, ఇప్పుడే ఇట్లా ఉంటున్నాయా, అప్పుడు ఇంకా ఇంతే ఉండేవాడు. Now I am short, that was very short. Very young. She used to beat him with a cane. That was a punishment. He underwent all that. When his father came there, neighbors told him, your son is suffering like this. Is he a burden to you? Would you allow him to suffer like that? Hearing this, father came and asked Baba, then Satya, follow me. He took him just some distance away from home and said, Satya, you are not a burden to me. Come with me, I'll take you back. Why should you undergo this torture? What is this hard work? You are being beaten every day. Please come to me. Note this point. Satya, Baba replied, Father, I don't want to leave them. Only recently they lost a child. They were crying like that. In these difficult times, if I leave them and follow you, it will look so bad. I don't want to leave them like that. Particularly now, when they are facing that tragedy, I don't. That is the life. Life is a message. He was ready to bear the torture, but not leave his brother's home. Though there was a provision, though father himself came to take him, he said, no father, I'll be with them. Because they are suffering. They are at a severe loss now. That is Bhagwan Baba. Therefore, those who say that I'm not able to bear this high discipline in my home, I want to be away, you will be very close to the ocean. The safest place is to live with the parents. The safest place. That's what Swami teaches everybody. And then what happened? He was a class leader. And he used to lead bhajans, make everybody sing. He composed a song which applies very much to Independence Day celebration. He made everybody sing that song. Swami's own composition. The leader of the school. School people leader. That's what Swami is. As leader, he led them to bhajans. And then he was selected as a scout member. You know scouts. He was asked to go to some other place to be of some service along with other scout members. I'm telling you, my children, in Swami's words, I don't have enough of money to go to that place, away from Kamalapuram, because we had to go by bus. Chargeeru levaya na daggara. I don't have money. I cannot travel by bus. No money. What to do? And then to go to that, to be a participant among scouts, I need a dress, canvas shoe, and a whistle. Yandinchi techedi, that is Rayalaseema style. Yandinchi techedi, where from can I get it? No money. What to do? This thing Swami says, personally, every day. When Swami narrates his childhood, we start crying like anything, crying. He underwent such an ordeal. And then these other boys have come to know. One day, a friend who sat by his side happens to be son of a Tahsildar, a little more money than that. He kept silently scout dress and a whistle for Baba. Baba saw that. Know this lesson. Please note that. When I say my life is my message, I have got a point to say that. This is not a storytelling class. This is a class where we have to draw message from his life, where we have a chance to improve the quality of our life. What did he say? నేను మెత్తగా ఒక లెటర్ రాసి పెట్టేసినాను అక్కడ. Silent I wrote a letter and kept it on his desk. What does he say? Brother, I cannot accept your scout dress. I cannot accept the whistle you brought. We are friends. Because of money, because of this exchange, our friendship will be spoiled. Friendship should not be based on giving and taking, the money relationship. I don't want it. That is the lesson. Therefore, we should not have any kind of financial relationship when we want friendship to sustain. We want friendship to grow. That's what he told them. And then what happened? When teacher came and said, it's time for us all to go to scouts. Baba said, sir, I'm having stomach pain. I cannot come. Yesterday, some of our children who want to skip schools, stomach pain. Because you cannot see the stomach pain. Stomach. So what to do? They were all disappointed. They are left. Please note this point. Swami went all the way by walk to that long distance without any money. He was telling, ఏం చేసేదయ్యా డబ్బు లేదు. I don't have any rich food like you people. That's some rottel antaru. Rottel, something like a thick dosha, circular, made up of ragi, the finger millets. Very hard. The stones are circled and those things. ఏమో రెండే తీసుకెళ్ళాను. Only 2 I took along with me. Went to that place. I didn't carry any Bisleri water like you. No water bottles. I went there. But there in villages, there will be a big container where water is kept there for the buffaloes and cows to drink. The water there is meant for cows and buffaloes to drink. I need Taganaya. That water I drank. That water I drank. See this. After all, people say, I'm Avatar, I'm Baba. Nonsense, stop it. Did you undergo all this ordeal? Did you face the challenges of life? How dare you declare that you are Avatar? Nonsense. The one who declares like that is a fool. The one who believes is a double fool. Life of avatar is not that cheap. You have to go through the fire. That's what we find in his life. I had to drink that water and go there. Participate in scouts. See, I have only one dress. Only knicker and a shirt. When I wash knicker, I'll have only shirt. When I have the shirt, I will wash the knicker. Only one set. If button is broken, he will pick up a thorn from the bushes and put it like that. Dabbuledaya. And put thorns there. That is the life of Bhagavan. It is a life, not a life of luxury, pomp and show. It's a life of hardships. Every day, every moment is a challenge for him. Just know how ordeals, difficulties he went through. And then he returned. This clearly shows how Avatar loves his grandparents, parents, how he maintains the dignity and the value of the family. He does not tell all his friends, I have no money, I don't have second pair of dress, so I can, Eppudu kutumba maryada chala mukhyam. The family dignity, family prestige is very important. We should not expose like that. Swami tells like that. To all postgraduate students, PhD students who sit very close to him at his feet in Kodaikanal, he tells these things. So that we may learn. That is my life is message. The message is to serve. The message is to face the challenges of life. And the message is to keep the dignity, prestige of the family. Not to run away. It is not for convenience. And then Swami further explains, Inti vachana I returned. But everybody thought I am mad. Everybody thought I am mad. And somebody, when I said I am Sai, somebody thought I had scorpion bite. Therefore I lost my senses. So I say I am Sai. A scorpion has bitten him. Because the scorpion bite, he could know that he is Baba. That's what people talked about it. Do you know what Swami said? You to get yourself bitten by a scorpion. You will know if you can become Baba. It's only an excuse, that's all. Just as Adi Shankara case. Adi Shankara was drawn to the river by a crocodile. Then Adi Shankara shouted, Mother, this crocodile is drawing me deep into the water. I may die any moment. This crocodile will leave me if only you permit me to be a sannyasi and a celibate. Mother had no excuse. Okay, you became a sannyasi, it is enough if you are alive. You may say it's only an excuse. It is only an apology. Therefore, Bhagavan Baba being bitten by scorpion is only an excuse. Came, they sat there. And they want to test him. Opposition started from the family. His own brother started doubting him. Father took him to some gentleman who will drive out all evil spirits. He thought it's all witchcraft. He took him to that man to drive out the evil spirits. If Baba is possessed by any devil, let us treat him. Baba said, hair anta teesesnaraya, hair neatly shaved. Danipai nimmakai petti rudyaraya, lime applied on that head. You can imagine how burning it would be. 108 pots of water are poured on him. 108. Kallu marragaipoyindi. I saw red. Whole thing is body burning. But I did not blame anybody. I did not blame anybody. I was just silent, smiling. That is Avatar. Avatar withstands the test of time, withstands challenges. He is ready to face all tests with a smile, with a smile. Then one day what happened was this. There were two friends on either side. One is Ramesh, other is Suresh, two friends. At the time of examination, these two fellows are dunces, useless fellows. What to do? They were looking at Baba, you should help us. Then Swami says, I finished the paper within half an hour. Examination duration 2.5 hours. I completed half an hour. Then I took extra paper, answered them all. One for that fellow, one for that, and gave the scripts to the teacher. All the three stood first class. So Baba writing answer, And Swami says, we three were taken in a procession along the streets all over the village. When all are praising, hey, Jai, Jai, those fellows are looking at me. You are responsible, we are not. Of course, Baba tells this person, you don't do it. I did it, but you don't do that. Swami shows, here demonstrates his humility, his concern. Friendship is not a matter of convenience. It's a matter of commitment. The friendship was so intimate. When Swami left home, one fellow had all that problem in the mind. He became a crack, psychic. Another friend jumped into the well and committed suicide. They could not bear separation. That is friendship. Friendship in Sanskrit is Maitri. Maitri. What is Maitri? Maitri. Past, present, and future. The one who remains with us in all the three periods of time, past, present, and future. That is Maitri. And Baba explains, those two fellows love me so much. They have taken the birth of dogs. Two dogs. One is Jack, the other is Jill. Two dogs. Swami used to tell, Yen dina na kukkal na kaldagi padukunevaya. Every day those two dogs sleep at night, close to my feet. They love me so much. And today there in Whitefield, we have got a tomb-like thing built in memory of those two dogs, quite close to Swami's bungalow in Whitefield, Bangalore. That is friendship. Not to desert anyone, not to exploit anyone. It is only love, unidirectional flow. Unidirectional flow. An ideal friend. When some student sat here, arrived, how many friends you have? Swami, many. No, bad. Many. Other fellow is smart, he understood. How many friends you have? Swami, I have 4 friends. 4? Oh. How about you? I have 2 friends. Oh, 2? Oh. How about you? Swami. Before he answers, Swami says, please note these points, my friends. I repeat once again, this is not storytelling. There we have to learn from his life as a message. What did he say? Not 10 friends to 50 friends here, idanta loafers, no. There is only one friend who is God himself. There is only one friend who is God. Remember this. That's what Baba said. There is only friend. That's how he emphatically brings your notice what true friendship is. I'll give you one example. There in Andhra, there was agitation. Because a political leader who was killed, there is big agitation, disturbances, trains were stopped, buses could not ply. It was at that time, you can verify, there in Vijayawada, one man has a tire factory. There will be stock worth about 1 crore or even more. Because of the agitations, they have set it on fire. The whole godown was put on fire. He lost 1 crore property, ekdam gone. He immediately came to Prashantalayam. Swami did not look at him. This fellow started crying. Evening, he ignored him. He cried louder. What to do? He returned home. This happened in Vijayawada. Prakashan Barrage, the tire factory, all people know this. And then this man came home after spending 2 or 3 days there. He has 2 sons, they are taking care of the factory now. They came forward and said, Daddy, insurance people came, made an estimate. The whole factory is now ready. We can open up the showroom. That's what the boy said. Huh? I see. He was wondering. Immediately he came to Swami. Immediately. And then looking at Swami, he started crying. Then Baba said, why do you cry? There's only one friend, who is God. There's only one friend who is God. I came and said, do not worry. He is our family friend. He came home and narrated what all had happened. Anil Kumar, when I was in total loss, and the whole factory was put on fire, then I lost 1 crore worth of property. Nobody called on him. Nobody sympathized with him. Nobody said, we are sorry. And he said in his own words, I helped all my people, sir. I helped all my relatives. But in the time of crisis, nobody came to rescue, sir. What Swami said is true. There's only one friend. God is your friend. Bhakta Sakha Bhagavan. Hey Bhakta Sakha Bhagavan. Bhakta Sakha Bhagavan. She hugged me and cried. How Baba saved him. Therefore, he started teaching, while practicing, while demonstrating, slowly. One day suddenly, through books, and declared, I am Sai. I have no more connection with you, no more attachment with you. I am Sai, I am going. Then he went there, sat on a boulder in Bukapatnam. There he started first bhajan, Manasa Bhajare, Guru Charanam. First bhajan. All people joined. This is a lesson I tell you. Baba first started this Nama Sankirtana movement. Movement, I say, is a spiritual movement. Across the country. Why across the country? All over the world. They know Sai bhajans. They know Sai. You may not believe. It is a fact. I traveled all the 5 continents. I know. And there are some people who do not know the language or the text of the song. They know Swami's poems. They know the tune, but they don't know the language. Simple example. Kanda kandantara kyatina jinchina mahani yulanuganna matrubhumi pachachavirula paradrolinchiyu swatantramuganna samarabhumi Sangeet Shastriya Sahitya Vijjalatoda. That goes the poem. Divya Bhumi Chitra Kadalatoda Chitramai Unnati Bharata Bhumiyandu Janana Mundi. That's how he presents that poem. This Brazil, I had been to Brazil, São Paulo, I was with some guests. They said, Anil Kumar, would you please tell how Swami sings that song? Okay. Kanda Kandantar I started. Then few ladies came there. La 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 tune. Correct tune. They may not know the text, but they feel the presence of Baba. So this Namasvarna, which is international, so well spread, it is because of Bhagavan, Shri Sat Sai Baba only. I'll give you another example, Mexico. Mexico is full of lakes and rivers, Mexico. A beautiful place, Mexico City. What the thing is, they have special boats, very well decorated boats. And all the newlyweds, they come there for honeymoon and will have boating. Some people will have band also there in the boat, some music. I went there. I saw it. Highly decorated boats, the newlyweds with their relatives, with some snack to eat and band going on. We can never be number 2 in the world. Take it from me. We can never be number 2 in the world. Number 1. Sai is the only one and we should be number 1. I told my friends there, Arey, come on, let us sing bhajans now. They are having orchestra and all that. Let us sing. We have got some snack and we started singing high bhajans. Immediately, believe me or not, 4 to 5 boats came very close to us. The newlyweds also started doing bhajans. And the orchestra joined. Gopika-mala haribhya himayi veeramana vihari madana mohana muralidhari Krishna jai, Krishna jai, hey Krishna jai, hey Krishna jai. Taktagava. All instruments. That is Sai. That is Sai, the Namasmarana. If anything that unifies the world, it is only Namasmarana, Sai bhajans. Such a Sai spiritual silent revolution started with Namasmarana. And then what did Baba do? He started gathering boys, started teaching them bhajans, established a small organization, Panduranga Bhajan Mandali, and all boys started singing. Singing is not the only thing that Baba did. The village head had some vices, bad habits. He wanted to correct him. He went with his gang, all the boys, stood in front of his house, doing bhajans. What is all this? If somebody goes on singing like that man came out. His name is Gopal Rao, the village head. I said, what is all this nuisance? If you promise that you will stop all your bad habits, then only we will leave you, not otherwise. Then he called Sachin inside, come on, gave him mango fruit. I give mango. Give me a whole basket of mango fruits, I don't want. Make a promise that you will give up your vices. Then only we. Singing is not mere melody. Singing is not a music academy. Singing is therapeutic. Singing is reformative. Singing is transformational. A kind of transitional. A kind of elevating process. That is music of Sai bhajans. Swami also narrated an experience in the school. Teachers loved him. One Telugu teacher, it seems, called him, Sachin, you come home for lunch today. He said, no sir, please leave me. If you don't come, we are not going to have our lunch today. You should come. So Swami went to his house. Swami says, Vantapatram Dechinaraya. They brought utensils, fresh, newly purchased. They are not used to make non-vegetarian dishes, no. Special ga tayar chesaru. They made special cooking for me. And then I called my teacher, sir, you should not call me like that. If you serve me food, how about our classmates? What do they think of you? What do they think of me, sir? Please excuse me. Apologized, and Swami came out. This is the message. Any joy should be shared. It cannot be monopolized. The Swami did right from his childhood. Right from childhood. And if any beggar stands in front of the house, he will immediately take some food and give it to that fellow. The parents are very much annoyed. What is all this? Then he said, if you give food like that, you'll have to starve tomorrow. No food for you. He said, okay. He gave his share. He gave his share to beggars. When mother comes and says, what happened to your food? Amma, I ate it. And when did you eat? Come on, you smell. It smells sambar smell. I ate it. He did not eat it. His miracles are not for miracle's sake. Understand it. The miracles are not for advertisement. Miracles are not for publicity. Miracles are meant to promote his service activity. He wanted to feed people. That's why when he kept his palm close to his mother, it was smelling sambar. Yes, that's a miracle. I can tell you, I'm bringing parallel incidents, if not in chronological order. This is not Balavika's storytelling class. I want to bring to your notice how his life is a message from time to time. It was in the year 1988. We were there in Kodaikanal. Swami arranged Narayan Seva, distribution of food to the poor and needy. I was just new to Swami from the point of closeness, physical proximity. Though I was coming and going, give a talk and go, but not very close to him. First time in Kodaikanal. Swami said everything is mega. He will say 200 people will come, but 600 will be there outside. 500 will be there, 1,000 will be there. He'll call everybody. At one time, Mrs. Ratanlal, who was in charge of the kitchen, called me Anil Kumar. Anil Kumar ji, sambar, rice, curries, they are all over. Swami is calling every fellow, come and say, where can we serve? No stock. Amma, what shall I do? You go and tell Swami, there is no stock anymore, so that he won't call everybody on the street. Because I was quite new. I thought I can talk to Swami. If it were to be 2 to 3 years later, I would certainly know it cost my life. All my luggage will be thrown into the lake there in front, and immediate bus ticket to return home. Only to meet him as Prema Sai, that's all. I know later. It was early period, honeymoon period. During honeymoon period, some mistakes will be tolerated, as experienced people know. So what happened was, I went close Swami. Yemi, what? Swami, stock అయిపోయింది Swami. Stock is over. That's all. Huh? When you ask me again, you will be in trouble. Swami started, here head going on top. Why do you say it's over? I don't want these two words. Nasti, ledu. Nasti, I have nothing. Two, exhausted, no more. These two words I don't like it. You go, he said. Amma, first experience. Hot iron rod right on my back. Then I ran. Came to me and says, Ratanlal, Amma, I don't know why you want to you want me to be a scapegoat in this game? No, Anil Kumar, we bolted the door, kitchen closed. Yavanamma Swami said these things, what shall we do? All right. You see for yourself. That's what you said. He opened the kitchen. Swami, the eternal witness. Believe me or not, all the utensils are full of food stuff. Sambar, rasam, curry, rice, full. She was very much surprised. Anil Kumar, maybe this is a miracle that I witnessed. I personally witnessed it there. What do you say that? This miracle is performed not for everybody to speak about, not to publicize his divinity, only to serve the poor and needy. Only to serve the poor, only to serve, feed the poor. That's the main mission of all these miracles. One day what happened was, he called all foreigners, asked them to be seated, and arranged lunch for them. Boys. And in the morning he called me and said, Anil Kumar, these saris are here. Which color will suit them? He asked me. If you say, he will ask you, how do you know? If I don't say, you have got children, daughters, don't you know that much? In either way, it will be wrong. Just I was waiting. Then, Swami, this is good. Why? It is ash color or cement color with the red flowers. This will go well, Swami. How do you know? Swami, the personalities are different. For them, these saris will be very fine. You are an experienced fellow. We give the saris. He teaches me the saris tailor. At that moment when all were seated, he asked boys to serve food to all of them. They served. One fellow who is a gold medalist in MBA, now in Madras, earning 5-figure salary. I know him very well. Very nice boy. He was also serving. While serving, we are not professional caterers. Are we hoteliers or what? We are not professional. While serving, that fellow served sweet rice. While serving, some quantity fell on the ground. On the ground. What to do? Swami is about to come. He is an MBA, intelligent fellow. What was, he pushed that rice, kept the leaf on that. So the Swami cannot see. And kept some rice above that, so that it won't fly. Nicely arranged. That in the last row. He did not tell me what had happened. I am supposed to be in charge of all this. What to do? Swami came and said, Anil Kumar, andarki ayinda? All that counts. Andaru kodichinara? Have they served all the items? Yes. Come with me. He took me straight to that place. Right. Lift that leaf, he said. Lift that. When I lifted that, sweet rice is there. Right. Who is the boy that served like this? Who is the fellow? Irresponsible fellow. You cannot bluff in front of Swami. Better we accept and cry, there ends the matter. Pardon will be granted immediately. Immediate acceptance of our mistake and repentance. The boys know very well. He came and said, Swami, Arey, you have done two mistakes. One, the rice fell on the ground, which is not supposed to. And you covered with the leaf. Do you think I can't see? So you made a mistake, and you thought that I would not come to know your mistake. Two mistakes you have committed, useless fellow. Gave him hard dose. Did not speak to him for 15 days. 15 days is a short punishment. There are people 6 months, 6 years, long-run punishments, capital punishments, I know. This boy had only 15 days treatment because he's a good boy. Why I am telling you is, Swami knows what is happening. Swami knows what you are hiding. He knows every little bit what all that happens there. Therefore, Swami had come to Bukkapatam, sat on the boulder, started singing his glory. Bhajan movement started there. And some of the fellows questioned him, and they have put him to severe tests. But he could withstand them all with a smile. And then what happens? The neighboring villagers started visiting him. It was only at that time his mother asked for a well and a school and a primary hospital. Then he thought of these things. What is the point here? The work of an avatar is like a bud that opens up slowly, gradually. Slowly, gradually, not all of a sudden. If anything happens all of a sudden, it is a magic. Swami is not a magician. He is avatar for times. That unfolds slowly. And he was telling, it seems in the school, that when he was in the school, a teacher has put a question. All could not answer. Swami only put answer. Now he said, Yemonappa, Vakka Pustakam kuda chadavala. I did not read any book. All my books are brand new because I never read them. But when teacher asked me, I could answer all those questions. You should see Swami's face. I wish we should read him, tape his talks, private conversations. Hey, Pustakam Tirchinu Papan Bola. I didn't open the book, but I opened. Then teacher called him, come on. And all these fellows did not answer. What I want you to go to every fellow, slap him that side, this side. Slap every fellow. You should do it. Swami tells his words, I am not ready to beat anybody. Papa, what shall I do? But here teacher wants me to slap, what can I do? I cannot say no to him. So he went to every boy. Emra, a face powder rastunava, are applying face powder like that? Come on. Dance, he slapped Baba on both the cheeks. Swami said, Abba, vachipoyinaya. Yarrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrrr started that spirit not to punish anybody, so that everybody will come to know that we are not here to punish, that we are here to forgive, forget, not simply take every occasion to punish people. There he started the movement right in the school itself. The old mandir was built, and one Mysore Rani, queen from Mysore family, royal family, came on a visit to Swami, had Swami's darshan. While she was returning, Swami asked one of his two dogs, guide them to that place. Because Puttaparthi is a place, a jungle at that time. So, this dog was showing the way for the Queen of Mysore towards the car, where the car was parked. Next morning, the car was the dog was sleeping there, very close to the car tire. Next morning, the driver did not notice the presence of the dog. He started his engine, started driving. The tire fell, rolled over the back of the dog. And the dog went on crying, walked all along, fell at the feet of Swami and died. The Swami narrated how faithful the animal was. I am a witness. One time what happened was, in Vrindavan, Swami comes down around 4:30 or 5:30 in the evening. I was staying just close to Swami, next building. Suddenly I heard some talk that Swami is coming at around 12:30 in the afternoon, which will not happen. 12:30 in the afternoon. What is all this? I immediately rushed out. One deer started jumping, limping, came close to him. Swami offered few lemongrass, fed it, and the deer, looking at Baba, collapsed at his feet. Collapsed at his feet. The Swami said, I know that end is approaching, therefore I have come for her. That is Bhagavan Sri Sai Baba. End is approaching, he will stand by you, come what may. That's how Swami said it. And also in respect of his grandfather told him, right, I'm leaving. You won't go anywhere, Tata. You'll live here for a long time. Don't say that. No, I'm going. No, don't say that. And Swami came out one day. Suddenly, he started returning. Sai's grandfather, breathing is lost. And Swami said, for the Neeru Tulasi Petnanaya, kept some Tulasi leaves and offered some water. Looking at me, my grandfather died. Because he gave a promise that would be there when the end approaches. I also remember 1972, during summer courses, May 6th, summer courses were going on in full swing. Suddenly news came that Ishwaramma, Swami's mother, died. Everybody expected that there will be no classes, no festival, just some prayers, some bhajans. Please note this point. It is only possible for Baba. No human can ever do it. He came out and announced, classes will go as it is. Classes should not be disturbed. Is not your concern. Classes went on. Now Swami tells, ఏమప్పా ఏమి క్లాసెస్ వాడు చెప్పింది అందరూ ఈశ్వరమ్మ గురించే చెప్పారే. All teachers spoke on Mother's Ishwaramma. The topic was Ishwaramma. Actually they were supposed to speak on Upanishads. They shut their mouth and spoke on Mother Ishwaramma all that day. Then he called Ramanrao and asked him to escort the body to Prashantlayam where she was buried. A point here, while Swami was there upstairs, Mother Ishwaramma is what happened. Mother Ishwaramma has got the habit of, what should I say, the nuts, wakkal. He'll keep it there and she'll crush it and then take those bits. One day she was doing it and suddenly shouted, Naina! Oh boy. Immediately Swami came down, noticed that mother is collapsing. He offered water. Looking at his feet, she died. She left. These things Swami narrated personally in excellent way. Every summer course last day, he speaks on his childhood. Childhood. 1 year it so happened, Swami went on speaking about stars, moon, Milky Way, distance between the stars, distance between sun and the moon. Boys looked at me pitifully. Sorry, you should save us from this situation. I went slowly, closely to Swami and said, Swami, stars were there even before we were born. Stars will continue to exist even after we leave. No more stars, Swami, please. Right. Amen. Why do you say, Swami? What do you want? We want your childhood, Swami. Please tell us childhood. Please tell us some Krishna Leelas. We'll be happy. Sorry, you are a bad leader, huh? I'm a bad leader, but I want Krishna stories. Not Moscow, Shredder Moscow, but I want your childhood. I persistently insisted. Then Swami changed again, started speaking on his childhood. He personally explains. Really, you'll be stunned, surprised to know it. And such a Swami. As the time being short, because it's a long story, I'm only selecting some highlights, important things, if not in chronological order. Slowly what the new Prashantalayam was built and Swami was there. There, the first institution to be started was Iswaramma High School. The next was Anantapur College. At the time of Anantapur College, the meeting was attended by Brahmananda Reddy, Chief Minister, P.V. Narasimha Rao. All such galaxy of big people were invited. And Swami went there just at a public meeting in Anantapur. Nobody knows anything. It's only vast open land. There he said, we'll start Anantapur College next year. We'll start Anantapur College next year. Is it possible? To construct the whole building, appoint staff, students? He simply said, at the dining table, a trust member, Jogarao, came and said, Swami, how do you say that college will be started next year? There is no money in the trust, Swami. He's a trust member. There is no money. Then Swami said, Jogarao, it was I who announced. Why do you have blood pressure? Why? Have some cold water, eat well, and sleep. After 2 to 3 days, Jogarao comes. Yeni chala hushari undave. How is that you seem to be very active now? Swami, trust got to its account 6 crores donated by a devotee Swami. But here, the blood pressure peripaya. You got so much blood pressure there. I know. That is Bhagavan Sri Satsai Baba. That is the message. What is the message? When he wills, it will be done. When you will, maybe or may not be. When he will. Why not university? One lady came there, Madhuri Shah. She was the chairman of University Grants Commission, a very big personality, above that wide as any other door. She was chairman of University Grants Commission. She came to Swami and said, Swami gave her all interview and spoke everything. Swami asked Madhuri, Naku university kavali istava? Madhuri, I want some university, one university. Would you give me? As if like a chocolate or a peppermint. University? No, Swami, impossible. Yemi, why? We have college here at University here at Anantapur. We got another university there at Tirupati. We cannot have a university like that, Swami. In a short distance. It is possible. You will come and inaugurate it next year. That's it. Next year she came and inaugurated that university with her own hands, and Swami in discourse he said, this lady was doubting me. And this lady said, it is not possible. That which is impossible for you people is made possible by Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba only. Understand that. That's what Swami said. It is impossible to you. It is possible to you. The Swami declared there. Like that university came. Then the water project was announced. For the water project, no enough of money, what to do? Money started pouring. Where from? We do not know. And Swami said this, దేశంలో ఉన్న లారీలన్నింటినీ పిలిపించినాము, దేశంలో ఉన్న ప్రొక్లైనర్స్ అని పిలిపించినాము, దేశంలో ఉన్న క్రెయిన్స్ అని పిలిపించాము, దేశంలో ఉన్న ఇంజనీర్స్ అంతా వచ్చినారు. ఎక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చినారు, ఎక్కడి నుంచి వచ్చారు? All cranes, all equipment, complete engineers across the country reached Anantapur to participate in that water project. How could they do it? That is Swami. Swami, you alone could do it, Swami. How could you accomplish it? I asked. Then he says, మనసులోని భావము మంచిదైన కలిగి తీరును ఫలసిద్ధి కార్యము. If your intention is right, if your intent is selfless, you will be successful in your attempt. మనసులోని భావము మలినమైన ఫలము కూడా ఆ రీతి మలినమగును. స్వచ్ఛమైన మాట ఈ సాయి మాట. If your intent is selfish, if you are a rogue inside, if you want to do anything for publicity, you will end up in a failure. If the intents are good, you will be successful. Then the hospital was inaugurated. Somebody, Swami, how do you run this hospital? Because you don't want to ask money. You don't want the patients to be charged. How are you going to run totally free of charge? Baba said, Ramavataramlo koturu sahayapadaaya. In Ramavatar, monkeys helped divine mission. Pakshulu upayogapadayara. Jatayu bird cooperated, helped Ramachandra. Demons, Vibhishana, joined Rama. Manushul Rara Naku. When demons, birds, monkeys helped in Rama's mission, do you think human beings will come and help me? Participate in Sai mission? That is confidence. In fact, it's a very brilliant, very big topic. It could go on for a couple of days. But my sincere appeal to all of you is this. Please study Sai literature in depth. Please study. Stop speaking about your own biography. We are fed up with that. Every fellow comes and says, my grandmother was about to die, Swami saved her. Tomorrow she will die, if not today. Or you may die. The world will be much better with us, without us. Stop speaking about the personal references. Draw lessons from his life. What is Sai biography? What is Sai mission? How that avataric mission unfolded. How he has done it. Understand it. Why? For our own improvement. My life is my message. Why that? So that we can improve the quality of our life. I know the organizers are looking at me pitifully, being not able to push me down. But anyway, I regulate myself. As I said, please make research study. Draw some lessons, particularly for Balavikas. How Swami was as a boy, how Swami was as a student. He speaks of his teachers even today. Subbanacharya unnadappa, Mehboob Khan unnadappa. He mentions the names of his teachers who taught him in the primary class. And today, we forget even university professors. When the semester is over, your chapter is also over. Nobody remembers you. But from the life of Swami, you will come to know how to be grateful to your teachers, how to be respectful towards your teachers. Swami as a student, Swami as a leader, Swami is a pioneer of different topics. Padmanabhan sir, 5 minutes more. We believe in grace marks. Therefore, both of us are teachers. We should be compassionate towards each other. Swami as an ideal guest. Suppose you invite him for dinner or lunch. Swami won't come alone. He comes with boys and some guests. See this. We had been to Latur, Hatchi, Bangalore, along with Swami. What Swami does is, he will immediately go inside, ask all the boys to be seated, the guests to be seated. He will immediately go to puja room. We'll call the master and his wife to puja room, materialize some ring, present them clothes. Then he will straight go to the parents where the old parents are staying. He will talk to them nicely. Then he will go to the kitchen. How nice it is. He wants the kitchen to be dry. Kitchen should not be full of water or something like a pond or a pool. It should be dry. Bagu. Anil Kumar, my kitchen is round. Is your kitchen like this? No, Swami. It is like. And then you talk to cooks. What's your name? Where do you come from? Present them clothes. Present them clothes to cooks. Then he come out. Then he'll fix a seat for everybody. There Swami sits. Now you start. Swami is a guest, a divine guest who talks to the parents, the servants, servant maids. So merciful to have photographs with them, giving gifts, an ideal guest. Swami is an ideal host. Yes, how? This is what my life is, my message is. Ideal host, what kind of ideal host he is? He picks up some boys to follow him to Kodaikanal every year. About 20 or less than that. Those boys are either very good in sports, very good in bhajans, are very good in academics, are very good in assisting in running of the hospital. So on merit basis, they'll follow him. Swami's technique is this. He will start selecting from the month of February. We have to leave in April. Selection from February. When everything is ready, what happens? Tomorrow they have to start. 3 days before, he sends a lorry of provisions. Because in Kodaikanal you don't get all this. Unless you get down, you cannot get this stuff. Or you should go to Coimbatore and get it. So everything is ready. Rice and all provisions. Second lorry, the saris, dhotis and all the gifts to be accompanied by 2 teachers. He gives them money to drivers, to the lecturers, some additional amount for petrol. Additional amount for petrol. And some, if the lorry breaks down, for more extra money. Because I am witness to these things. So very careful. You cannot simply, I am a host. What nonsense, what kind of, you are a ghost. You are not a host. We should learn from Swami how he hosts people. And the lorries go. And the previous evening, he will tell you, first bus, the boys sit like that. This car, Anil Kumar, you sit there. Next car, he will tell you specifically. By 5:30 morning, you should be ready. Everything will be loaded and the buses and cars start. Rajadhira Ramachandra Sai Jagavandana. Rajadhiraja. Wow. When Swami goes and so many convoy of 100 cars, 2 buses, As we go, wow, sight for cars. And then he stops at one place for breakfast. All of us will have sumptuous breakfast. And the Swami will be stopping at different places where crowds will be waiting in Tamil Nadu. And he'll get down, bless them, and give a talk. Mind you, they are not informed before. Ready, everything is ready. And then when you go to Kodaikanal, he'll tell you which room is allotted, which room is allotted, which room is allotted to everybody. Anil Kumar, you be here. Okay, Swami. I come from a place which is furnace. Very, very hot. Your dullest temperature. Very hot. I felt quite well at home because I am used to this. So that's a very, very hot temperature. Swami came to me, Papa, how do you manage? And then suddenly asked one, get one blanket for him. After 10 minutes again comes, Papa, still shivering. Come on, I'll get one rug for him. Still. After half an hour he comes, this is my shawl, Anil Kumar. This is my personal shawl. Lie down. And he covered up to this and said, good night, sir, good night, sir, good night. That is such a Sai Baba. Caring for everybody, caring for everybody, caring for everybody. And then he presents to everybody a kit, a plastic kit, to all students and everybody. Razor, blades, toothbrush, tongue cleaner, toothpaste, soap, everything is there. He starts distributing everybody. That is the host. What do we do? Hang yourself, you have come, manage yourself, or please leave tomorrow. You know that. Every minute detail, he takes care of it. And told me, Mr. Anil Kumar, you are used to spicy stuff, I know. These are all boys from North India. Some are from Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. They don't eat hot stuff like you. But 3 pickle bottles I brought it for you, so that you don't have to starve. That is there. That is such Sai Baba. We as a host, what do? Eat whatever that is available, or else Haribom Tatsat, meet you in the next life. And you should see, as the serving goes on, you'll watch it. Suppose if you like korma very much, you are eating korma, you'll notice it. You'll give a signal. That boy holding the bucket of korma will come and give you. Without asking. Without asking. Swami as a host, really wonderful. I can go on like this. And it will be shameful if I wait for another reminder. Because final call is given, final bell is given. I should round up. Please organize talks on value-based, how to learn from Swami's life. What are the lessons that you learned from him? How to improve the quality of our life. Thank you, sir, Dr. Padmanabhan and his team for all your kindness, for all the trouble you have taken in making number of phone calls, in arranging this meeting. Thank you very much. Shirabdishayana Narayana. Hari Narayana. Narayana, Hari Narayana. Jagata Janapati Narayana. Jagata Janapati Baba Maharaj Ku.
Sahram, a humble pranams at Swami's lotus feet, humble pranams to our really glorious Prof. Anil Kumar ji, and glorious pranams to all of you as well. I have the privilege of asking a few questions that
Please.
we've received from the audience. And if there are any other burning questions that you all have, please, there is a little notepad over there. If you can write down those questions. If we have time, we'll try to get as many questions answered.
For clarity, would you bring it down?
Yes, I think it's because of the
Your
feedback.
mask.
Oh, thank you.
So that there is no risk.
Yeah. Yes, I'm not going to mask any of the questions, yes. So, the first question. Is this better? Okay. The first question that one of the devotees has asked, is there a difference between thought and intuition?
Wow.
How does one know or experience this difference, and has Swami explained this?
You have shown the dullest standard of intellectuality. Congratulations, very good. Because some people ask me, what is the latest miracle? I feel like slapping them. Huh? There's nothing like latest miracle, outdated miracle. See, miracle is a miracle. Good question. What is the difference between thought and intuition? Wow. Thought is psychological. Thought is psychological. The mind thinks, and out of that thought arises, leading to action, giving us the results. Thought, action, results. Everything is psychological. Intuition, within. Intuition is within. Intuitive. Intuition is divine. Intuition is spiritual. Intuition is unambiguous. There is no confusion. The thought is confusion. Intuition is not like that. Intuition with clarity. And this intuition is out of intellect. In the intellect, you get the intuition. It is the mind that promotes the thought. In the intellect, intuition or divine, spiritual, inambiguous, non-confusing clarity, a direction. Whereas thought is just confusion, there will be doubt, there is some kind of substitution, suspicion also. Very clear? One is of the intellect, other is the mind. Thank you very much.
Perfect. That's such clarity in the answer. Second question we have is, you've been blessed to have such a close acquaintance, a friendship with Swami. You've talked to us so much about all of the experiences you've had, that his life is our message. What message has stuck close to your heart in the life of Swami?
Good. It's too personal question. With your permission, it is. Swami's unconditional love. Unconditional love strikes me. I remember in my own personal life, because you are referring to my personal experience, I know it was a time when Prime Minister of India was on visit to Prashantilayam. Swami just walks and comes straight to me. Prime Minister of India there. Swami comes straight to me. Your son's engineering examination, final result will be published today. Then I said, where is Prime Minister? What is Anil Kumar? How busy you are, I know, Swami. All are same to me. All are same to me, that is Bhagavan. Be the Prime Minister or a peon. I remember Rajinikanth, film actor, Tamil Nadu, idol, you know. He had to wait for 2 days for Swami's interview. And Swami tests you like anything. When Rajinikanth stood there, and in front of the door in Sundaram, see how Swami tests. He comes from the other side, talks to all devotees, while this fellow is here. And he goes to the road also, waving his hands to those that go on buses. And then he starts distributing clothes, collecting letters. Further delay. Old files disposed. And then finally comes there, oh Rajinikanth, Eppo vandachi? When did you come? He can't say, for the last 3 days I'm waiting at home. He gives them interview, along with the wife and 2 daughters. I also know Murray Chennarreddy, the then governor of Tamil Nadu, had to sit there for 4 days for an interview. So there's nothing like VIPs, I tell you. All are VIPs. Not very important person, no, very insignificant persons. I know one central minister who came to Swami, he's Rajasthani, with all his turban and all that. I want to have Swami's darshan. Ram Brahma was the caretaker. He said, sir, Swami has gone up already. No interviews, no. What? No interviews. Then this man stood in front of Swami's building looking at like that. Nothing happened. That fellow had to return. The moment it turned, Swami came down and told me, any fellow will have to wait for me. I won't wait for anybody. Let him be this minister or that minister. One more. There was one Vice President of India, Jetty, from Karnataka. He was Vice President of India. He came for Swami Darshan with ambassadors, military people and all that. At the time, Indo-Pakistan war was going on. Indira Gandhi sent him seeking Baba's blessings at the time of war. The Jetty came and said, ask Rama Brahmangaru, sir, Indira Gandhi Prime Minister sent me. War is going on. Please tell Swami. Sir, If you want, you can take my head. I'll give you the plate, chop it up, take it. I cannot ask Swami to come down. That is over, he has gone up. I can't do. I must go. I'm sent by Prime Minister, what do you mean? Hari Om Tat Sat. Sir, give me some solution. You go there, chant Sai Nama. Jetty, Vice President of India. What are you? What am I? He sat there with all his ambassadors, collectors. Om Sri Sai Ram, Om Sri Sai Ram. After 5 minutes, you hear the tap on the door. Ram Brahman opens the door. Ram Brahman, Papam Jetti Uchinadaya, waiting for me. Neustunanam Cheppu. Jetti came there, tell him I am going to give darshan. That is Baba. That is Baba. Your position, your wealth, nothing. Please understand this. Your devotion that matters. Your devotion, your sincerity, that matters. That unconditional love, really I cannot imagine. One very old lady, Amma, very old lady. She was sitting far off place. Swami looked like that. I called that lady. She came there. Kucho, Kucho, he said. At the end, I am always curious fellow. Then Swami, who is she? He was very kind enough, he did not say, why are you bothered? He did not. If you ask me, finish. Let us see the lake and bus. You should be ready. Ram Ram used to tell me, you should have a jeep bag. Unzip when you go there. Jeep, once again you are kicked out of the place. Life is a process, jeep and unzip. I asked Swami. Then Swami tells me out of compassion, you see, that lady hosted me in Coimbatore when I visited that place for first time. Therefore I asked her to sit here. That is Sat Sai Baba. That is Sat Sai Baba. At the time of 60th birthday, he honored old ladies. They are not very rich people, very poor people. He honored them on the dais. That is Bhagavan Sat Sai Baba. That compassion, that love.
Thank you. Thanks for that. That's what I would say a VIP answer, very interesting perspective.
This is more important.
Yes.
Very insignificant person.
So the next question we have, I'm trying to rush because I want to get as many questions answered.
Good.
Swami says, there is no Maya. It is of our own making. So how can one know then what is Maya and what is not? And how does one eliminate that Maya?
Wow. I underestimated you guys. I revised my opinion. You are really intellectuals. Very good. What is Maya? To consider that it exists, though it is not there. The one that is non-existent is viewed as the one that exists, like mirage. So that is Maya. What is not there, we think it is there, Maya. Why it comes? Whose fault it is? Some people say, Anil Kumar got Maya no Badar and trapped in this Maya. Nobody trapped you. You invited Maya. You liked Maya. You live in Maya. Love of position, love of money, love of power, love of Maha-Maya. Maya Rogam also. It's also. Right? That's Maha-Maya. After all, what is all this? It's all illusion. Nothing is the fact. Therefore, Swami gives an example. Wow. You stand under a tree. What do you find? Shadow of the leaves and branches, right? You come out of the tree. You find the shadow of the tree. Do you find the shadow of the leaves there? When you come out, similarly, for the tree of life, the leaves are desires and the shadow is Maya. See, there is always shadow. At 12 o'clock, sun is right on the top. No more shadow. And he gives another example. When you walk toward the sun, your shadow will be behind. When you walk against the sun, your shadow will be in front. When you walk towards the world, yes, Maya follows you. When you walk towards God, the Maya will be totally under control. One more example. Because I'm in this field, because these are all very helpful to you. I really congratulate, thankful to those who have put these valuable questions. Rather than asking what is the latest miracle, what are your personal experience. Stop that. Let us know this spirituality. Because nobody can explain like the Baba. I'm not tired to repeat any thousands of times. He alone can do it. He says this. Rich man has got a dog, Alsatian dog. All rich people have dogs. Because they've got plenty of property. There should be watchdog. So he has got a dog there. One beggar came there, Bhavati Viksham Dehe. The dog started barking, ready to attack him. This fellow started praying, oh sir, you may not give me any food. At least withdraw your dog. Call it back. Then he said, hey Tommy, come here. It went. So the dog obeys the command of the owner, not your command, not my command. So to get away from the effect of Maya, we should approach the owner. Maya Manusha Vesha Liladhara, Maya Manusha Vesha Liladhara, Kesava Madhava. You should apologize me for my bad singing, but still I am tempted what to do. Therefore, when the Mayopahi, Maya is the vesture that God has put on. If He calls it back, you will be free from that. Otherwise not. Am I clear?
Thank you so much. Beautiful. Yeah. Two quick questions. Can you tell us how, when we're in our regular daily lives and we're describing some things, how can one tell if it is their ego talking to them or if it's the voice of conscience?
Or?
Is it
Conscience.
the voice of conscience?
Yeah. How do you know that it is ego? There are some people I meet, because there's a long life, In this long life journey, I met thousands of people. One fellow comes to me and says, I'm the central president. How am I interested? Did I ask you who you are? Did I ask you? I'm central. So what? So what? That which is given to publicity, that which is given to propaganda, that which keeps you feel superior to others is ego. That which makes you feel humble, that which makes you feel that you are nothing, that is humility. That is your true self. The true self is so humble because it is same in everybody. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetram kshetrajnayo jnanam yajnanam matam mama sarvendriya gunabhasam sarvendriya vivarjitam. Parayana is going there in the Tatapika. So that self is same in everybody. How can you feel you are superior? It is everywhere. So that which prompts from the point of self is non-ego. That which is outer, publicity, complex and all that, total ego. As Swami gives one example, there is a buffalo. If you beat it, it will say, hum, I. Ego. Come on, take out the nerves out of that buffalo. Make it into the strings of a violin. You begin to play on that. It will say, tum, tum, tum. When you say you, that is the self. When I say I, that is ego. Am I clear?
Beautiful, beautiful. We know and we've been told there is divinity in everyone. But in daily life, as we go about life, if there is someone that keeps on hurting you, keeps on abusing you, how do you still see divinity in them?
The first step is not to be worried about what others do unto you, what others speak about you. You are living for yourself. You are not living, I am not waiting for anybody's compliment. When you fish for the compliment, you go once again. I live my own life. Divinity, very good question. Really, I tell you, I have not come across these quality questions in the recent years, including COVID period. I am so happy about it. How to know that the divinity everywhere? Simple answer. When you know the divinity within yourself, you will be able to know the divinity in others. When you are ignorant of your own divinity, how do you expect to know others' divinity? When you stand in front of the mirror, you will find your reflection. When you see the divinity within you, I will find the divinity within each and every one of you. So, be conscious, you said. Conscience? Very good. What is conscience? Swami said 3 words. Remember these things. Conscious, conscience, consciousness, 3 levels. I tell you, that nothing in life makes me happy other than Sai's message. Nothing in life matters to me other than spreading his message. Conscious, conscience, consciousness. What is conscious? In front of the mirror we stand. How do I look? Even monkey feels very handsome in front of the mirror. It is a mirror that dilutes us, Mahamaya. So, when once you see everybody in every shop, when you find some mirror there, meaning you are conscious of the body. Conscious relates to the body and the external senses. Conscience is inner voice. That is intuition. That's what Swami tells me. Supposing you feel, come to Puttaparthi, your conscience is telling. Go to that mall, mind is telling, not conscience. Huh? And Swami tells me to do some sadhana. That is conscience. Not necessarily go to some mall, mind. So you can distinguish, meaning that which is worldly, that which is physical, that which is mundane relates to conscious. That which relates to transcendental state, beyond the mind, cognitive senses and senses of action, beyond is conscience. Am I clear? The 3rd level. Conscience is in everyone. Simple example, here is a wall. Come on, break it. Then only one hall. It is a wall that separates one hall to another hall. When the walls are broken, there will be a single hall. In a similar way, the body that encases, that encompasses a sheath within conscience inside. When this is gone, this conscience will be same as consciousness, which is all pervasive, immortal, divine. So, consciousness within an individual is conscience. The conscience at the universal level is consciousness. Am I clear? Thank you.
I know we're running out of time, but there is a very deep question that we want to ask.
Okay, we'll all go deeper.
So Swami says, where there's faith, there is love. So this implies faith is essential to cultivating love. Swami also says, faith does not come from experience, it leads to experience. So where does this faith come from and how does one develop it?
Wow. Wow. Really, I wish we should have another session with question answers that. Doesn't matter even if handful people are there. We are not a political meeting to have thousands of people. It's not an election meeting, no. In a jewel shop you will have few people. In fish market it is highly crowded. This is the jewelry shop. Look, the quality of questions will reveal what you are. I'm not partial to you or partial to anybody. I'm not going to settle here so as to win your love, not this life anyway. I'm telling you fact of facts. So, repeat that question.
Where does faith come from?
Good. Where does faith come good?
And how can one develop it?
Adi, faith is not to be developed. First thing is that. You cannot develop faith. Am I correct? No, you cannot. Why? You can lose faith. You can lose faith. Why? Child has got faith in the mother. Child has got full faith on father. Who taught the child about faith? Gave lectures on faith. How to develop faith, water faith, manure faith, anything like that. You are born with faith. But you lose faith because of your desires, because of your attachment, because of possessiveness, because of your possessiveness, because of your selfishness and self-interest. You lose the faith. But you are born with faith. So faith is not to be created or generated. No, you are born with faith. And next part of question, experience. Okay. One fellow was speaking before Swami. Swami, is the experience first or faith next? Why that one fellow? It was only I. He made me big fool before everybody. Because all the statements I made, he said, Anil Kumar is wrong. I said, faith first, experience next. That's what Baba said. Everybody, devotees. That is followed by Swami's talk. Anil Kumar said, faith first, experience next. He is wrong. I only translated it. Why? Unless you have got faith, how can you have experience? Unless you know swimming, how do you jump into the river? If you jump into the river without learning swimming, we'll find our name in the newspapers, headlines next day, or on TV. So you should learn it. So faith is there for an experience. That's what it happened. Right? Am I clear, please? Right. Thank you.
Looks like Professor Padmanabhan had a question for. Did you have a question? Okay, great. So, any other questions that you all have? Yes, please.
Regarding the first question, you said, I wanted to know what's the difference between the mind and the intellect?
Between mind and intellect.
Wow. You are a software engineer? Must be. You fellows are software, but we are hardware inside. Good. What is the difference between mind and intellect? What does Baba say? Manas, buddhi, chittam, ahankara. 4 facets. Manas, the mind that thinks. Chitta, that feels, that responds. Ahankara, ego, personal identification. Buddhi, discriminative sense. Now, what does Swami say about it? A Brahmin, elderly man is there. When this Brahmin is in a temple, he is Purohita Brahmana, a Brahmin who is a priest. When this Brahmin reads almanac or Panchanga, Panchanga is Panchanga Brahmin. When the same Brahmin is seen in the cook and in the kitchen, he is Vanta Brahmana. Vanta Brahmana, Panchanga Brahmana, Purohita Brahmana, one Brahmin only. In a similar way, mind or intellect, or whatever chitta, mano, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, are all one. That manifestations are different. Expressions are different, depending upon the functions they discharge. Another example, same fellow is the husband, same fellow is the father, same fellow is a citizen, same fellow is a friend, same fellow. In a similar way, only one thing, mind. If we start deciding, oh, your intellect. If we start feeling responding, your chitta. If it claims some identification, it is ahankara. Am I clear, boy? Thank you very much.
So, while we'd like to keep on, going, we have to stop sometime, and so I'll invite Professor Padmanabhan to give the vote of thanks. And it's been such an enlightening experience. It's been so joyful, always listening to Swami's life, because we get so many wonderful messages. Thank you so much.
Oh, Nagaraj sir, so glad to see you. I met you there. Our meeting, our travel together is very fresh in my memory. Just take 1 minute. Just wait. Purandara Ranga Hare Vithala. Hey, Purandara Ranga Hare Vithala. Pangari Ranga Hare Vithala. Hey, Pangari Ranga Hare Vithala. Hey, Ranga Hare Vithala. Hey, Hare Ranga Hare Vithala. Hey, unconditional apologies to you for your patience. Thank you.
Yeah, my humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhajan Sri Sai Gayatri. First and foremost, we would like to thank on behalf of Sri Sai Global Center of Dallas and Region 10 of Sri Sai Baba Global Organization. We would like to thank Swami for sending his one of the most fitting messenger or called Duta to deliver his message to us directly. We didn't know how Swami's message was from his childhood. You made it so clear today that even as a child, his life was a message. And also insisted how just hearing the message is not important. We have to follow that. So at least we will make our attempt to follow his life, whatever he did, at least to 1% or maybe 0.01%. That will be our attempt to pay our gratitude. when we are walking inside, you were saying that age is slowing you down, but I never saw when you start talking about Swami, the excitement is unlimited. Your singing is resounding the whole hall.
So disturbing.
It's so divine to hear that. It was so wonderful. We would like to again thank you from the bottom of our heart for coming here, helping us to understand Swami's life as a message in every step of the way.
Thank you.
Thank you again for that.
My pleasure.
So, once we try on, and thanks.
Oh!
शिव शिव हर हर सुब्रह्मण्य शिव शिव शंकरवण भव सुब्रह्मण्य शंकरवण भव सुब्रह्मण्य जय शंकरवण भव सुब्रह्मण्य शंकरवण भव सुब्रह्मण्य ओम शिव शरवण भव सुब्रह्मण्य शिव शरवण भव सुब्रह्मण्य शिव शिव हर हर सुब्रह्मण्य हर हर शिव शिव ladies and children, please go and take namaskar and then followed by gents. And when we are going out, there is a prasadam, please be good. Thank you, Saira.
परमं विचित्रं लीलाविभूतिं परमार्थ इष्टार्थ मोक्षप्रदायिनीं भावाविभूतिं विरमाश्रयामि परमं पवित्रं भावाविभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीलाविभूतिं परमार्थ इष्टार्थ मोक्षप्रदायिनीं भावाविभूतिं विरमाश्रयामि परमं पवित्रं भावाविभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीलाविभूतिं परमार्थ इष्टार्थ मोक्षप्रदायिनीं भावाविभूतिं ब्रह्माग्नो ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्मसमाधिना अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः वचामन्यं चतुर्विधम् हरिर्भाता हरिर्भोक्ता हरिरन्नं प्रजापतिः हरिर्विप्रशरीरस्तु भुङ्क्ते भोजयते हरिः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्।